Duckworth, and thank you and Chairwoman Fisher for holding this important subcommittee meeting. And I know that the full committee chair, Senator Wicker, was here earlier, and I agree that working on these issues in a bipartisan fashion is very important to the nation. This June will mark the 20th anniversary of the Olympic pipeline explosion near Bellingham. A series of failures led to a spilling over 23,000 gallons of gasoline in a fireball that killed 3 young people. So I know, Administrator Elliott, you visited Bellingham last year and learned firsthand about how this tragedy affected the community. In response, Congress has passed more stringent pipeline safeties, and yet there's more that can be done. We just saw last September in Merrimack Valley, Massachusetts, another incident, and apparently something else has been triggered today, as previously mentioned here at the hearing. So we have this challenge of reauthorization of PHMSA, which we certainly want to do, but we also have 11 outstanding safety rules that Congress has already mandated, and we need to get them implemented. So I want to make sure that we hear exactly how we're going to achieve that challenge of getting those rules implemented as soon as possible. And also want to hear basically Mr. Amato about this cyber threat that our pipelines face. The fact that now we have evidence of state actors pinging or being involved in interference with our pipelines is something that could cause catastrophic events. What are we doing to work collaboratively with both TSA and PHMSA to make sure that that is that we have a plan on how we're dealing with that. So Mr. Elliott and Mr. Amato, if you could address those, that'd be great.
Well, Senator, thank you for the question. Again, I think that since about last June, we have worked particularly hard to close the gap on open mandates. As I had mentioned earlier, of the 12 that remain, 4 are tied to reports, 8 are tied to actual rulemakings. And I think in the not too distant future, given that we've completed work on the liquid rule, the gas rule, that we've finalized our comments on the rupture detection and valve rule, although that's a notice of proposed rulemaking, we have some distance to go on that. That I think we've made good progress on those mandates. While I can't provide a specific time or date that those will reach the finish line and be published as final rules, I can guarantee you that not a day goes by at PHMSA that we're not talking about what we can do to focus on these important safety mandates and to move them as quickly as we can through PHMSA.
Do you need more input from us? We've certainly, this committee is well familiar with responsibilities of oversight agencies. The Coast Guard can get weighed down from time to time, and sometimes Congress says make this a priority. Do you need that from us?
Well, Senator, I think I have heard from the House and the Senate many times loud and clear from both sides of the aisle that we have to finish our responsibilities in completing these mandates.
Thank you. We'll follow up on that. Maybe more input as to the prioritization of the rules might be helpful. Mr. Amato, on the safety of working with TSA on state actors cyber attacking our pipelines. What do we need to do?
Currently, TSA is working to resolve the recommendations from the GAO and improve the implementation of their pipeline safety program. Inga believes that these improvements are going to be very beneficial to make the program stronger. We think there's 2 areas that are key to the success of this. One is cybersecurity assessments, and one is the voluntary information sharing that has been set up. Excuse me. We continue to emphasize that sharing between our federal partners, other trade organizations, as well as companies, because the threats are evolving so quickly that having a strong sharing network is going to really help provide a stronger cybersecurity posture. We still think the federal partners at DHS, with TSA, they are working on the Pipeline Cybersecurity Assessment Initiative. That should have a comprehensive cybersecurity assessment of all our natural gas infrastructures and how best to protect them. Inga members still continue to volunteer for those. We have in the past Iroquois itself has been part of a corporate security review, and that has worked out, we feel, very well. That has helped us actually provide a better security posture for ourselves. I also think what THS and DHS are doing, or TSA, excuse me, DHS, are doing through the National Risk Management Center is a very positive step toward the end goal, which is protecting the critical infrastructure.
Thank you. We'll follow up with you, too. We think there's a few more things that we should be doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Cantwell. Senator Markey.